Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Go English. I'm Mizu.
And I'm Lucas.
Lucas, can I ask you something?
That depends. Should I be worried?
Maybe a little. I was looking through some old photo albums this week.
Oh, no.
Why? Oh, no.
Because childhood photos are dangerous.
Dangerous?
Absolutely. You open the album expecting a nice trip down memory lane, and suddenly you're asking, why did nobody stop me from getting that haircut?
That's so true.
Seriously, Mizu, every childhood photo is either a fashion disaster or evidence of questionable parenting.
Well, after I finished laughing at myself, something interesting happened.
What happened?
I started remembering things I hadn't thought about in years. My old house, my school, friends I used to spend every day with.
Isn't that amazing? One photo can bring back an entire chapter of your life.
Exactly. And it wasn't even the big memories. It was the little things.
Like what?
The games we used to play, summer afternoons, family dinners, things I hadn't thought about in forever.
Wow. You know, that's one of my favorite things about childhood memories. They show up when you least expect them.
And suddenly you're 10 years old again.
Or 8, or 12, depending on the memory.
Exactly.
You know, Mizu, childhood is one of those topics people never get tired of talking about.
That's true. Everybody has a story. Everybody remembers something.
A favorite teacher, a best friend, an embarrassing moment they'd rather forget.
Oh, there are plenty of those.
For all of us.
So today, we're going to talk about childhood. The people, the memories, the funny moments, and all the experiences that help shape who we are today.
And along the way, you'll learn lots of natural English expressions that native speakers use when talking about growing up.
Before we start, we'd love to hear from you. What's one childhood memory you'll never forget?
And what do you miss most about being a kid?
That's easy for me. Summer vacation.
Good answer. For me, the ability to fall asleep anywhere.
That's a real childhood superpower.
Sadly, adulthood took that away.
And replaced it with checking the weather forecast for fun.
Mizu, why is that so accurate?
All right, let's travel back in time and talk about childhood.
Let's get started.
Lucas, can I ask you something weird?
The fact that you warned me first makes me nervous.
What's one childhood memory that pops into your head instantly?
Oh, that's easy. Riding my bike with my friends until it got dark.
Wow, you answered that fast.
Because it's one of those memories that never leaves. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's funny, I can't remember what I had for dinner 3 nights ago,
Same.
but I can remember random moments from 20 years ago.
The human brain makes absolutely no sense.
None. Like, why do I remember chasing butterflies in my grandmother's garden when I was 6?
Meanwhile, I spend 10 minutes every morning looking for my keys.
That's adulthood.
It really is.
You know, whenever people ask where I'm from, I always say, I grew up in a small town.
See, that's already different from me. I grew up in a big city. Lots of traffic, lots of noise, and people always seem to be in a hurry.
Small town life felt much slower.
Did everybody know everybody?
Pretty much. Sometimes a little too much.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part. You can't do anything without the whole town finding out.
Exactly. But honestly, I have many happy childhood memories from those years.
I think that's what matters most. When people talk about childhood, they usually remember feelings more than facts.
That's true. And when I look back now, my childhood was simple but wonderful.
I love that description. Simple, but wonderful.
No smartphones, no social media, no endless notifications.
Just real life.
Exactly. What about you? What kind of child were you?
Oh, I was a very curious child.
Really?
100%. If I saw a machine, I wanted to know how it worked. If I saw a button, I wanted to press it.
That sounds dangerous.
It was. Several household appliances never fully recovered.
I can imagine. I was completely different. I was shy when I was young.
No way. You?
Believe it or not, I hated speaking in front of groups.
That's hard to believe now. You literally talk for a living.
Life changes people.
Apparently. Were you active as a kid?
Not really. What about you?
Oh, I was very active as a kid. Always running, always climbing things, always getting dirty.
That explains a lot.
I don't know if that was a compliment.
It wasn't.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, one of my earliest memories is playing with my friends after school.
Same. And somehow we could spend hours doing absolutely nothing.
And still have the best time.
Exactly. No phones, no screens, just imagination.
I remember spending a lot of time outdoors.
Me too. Back then, parents would basically say, have fun, be home before dinner.
And somehow everybody understood the assignment.
Nobody needed a GPS tracker.
Nobody needed 100 text messages.
Different times.
Do you ever miss it?
Sometimes. Not because everything was perfect, but life felt much simpler back then.
I know exactly what you mean. The world felt smaller, our worries felt smaller.
And happiness came from simple things.
A bike ride.
A favorite toy.
A sunny afternoon.
Good friends.
Funny how those little moments stay with us.
Maybe those little moments are actually the big moments.
I think you're right. Before we move on, let's quickly revisit some of the expressions we naturally use during our conversation.
A great one for talking about where you spent your childhood is, I grew up in. I grew up in a small town. I grew up in a big city. I grew up near the beach. I grew up in the countryside.
To talk about your memories, try, I have many, memories. I have many happy childhood memories. I have many wonderful memories of school.
To describe your childhood experience, use my childhood was simple but wonderful. My childhood was exciting. My childhood was challenging. My childhood was unforgettable.
To talk about your personality when you were young, I was a, child. I was a very curious child. I was a quiet child. I was a confident child. I was a creative child.
Or, I was, when I was young. I was shy when I was young. I was nervous when I was young. I was outgoing when I was young.
To share early memories, one of my earliest memories is playing with my friends. One of my earliest memories is riding a bike. One of my earliest memories is visiting my grandparents.
And a very useful pattern, I remember plus verb ing. I remember spending a lot of time outdoors. I remember playing soccer after school. I remember helping my parents.
And finally, when talking about the past, you can say, life felt, back then. Life felt much simpler back then. Life felt slower back then. Life felt more peaceful back then.
Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which sentence describes your childhood best?
Share it in the comments and let's continue our journey through childhood memories in the next part.
You know, Mizu, when people talk about childhood memories, they usually talk about places. The school, the neighborhood, the playground.
That's true. But when I think about childhood, I mostly think about people.
Really?
Yeah, my family was a huge part of my childhood.
Same here, honestly. I grew up in a close-knit family.
Oh, I love that expression, a close-knit family.
Yeah, everybody was involved in everybody else's life. Sometimes a little too involved.
I was about to say, that can be both wonderful and slightly terrifying.
Exactly. Privacy wasn't really a thing.
Lucas, how many people lived in your house growing up?
Oh, wow. Let's see, my parents, my brother, my sister, my grandmother for a few years. At one point, it felt like a small apartment building.
That sounds chaotic.
It was loud, busy, somebody was always talking, somebody was always eating, and somebody was always looking for something they had just lost.
That sounds like every family ever.
Fair point. What about you?
I spent a lot of time with my grandparents.
Really?
Oh, all the time. After school, weekends, summer vacations. Some of my happiest memories are with them.
Grandparents are amazing. They somehow have endless patience.
And endless snacks.
That's the important part.
Exactly. My grandmother never let me leave the house hungry.
That's such a grandparent thing.
It really is.
You know what I'm grateful for? My parents were very supportive.
Mine too.
I wasn't the easiest kid.
I'm shocked. Absolutely shocked.
Thank you, Mizu. I appreciate the sarcasm.
Anytime.
But seriously, they always encouraged me, even when my ideas were terrible.
That's what good parents do. They believe in you before you believe in yourself.
Wow, That's actually really true.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Did your family have any traditions?
Oh, definitely. We often had family dinners together.
Every night?
Not every night, but often. And honestly, those dinners were never really about the food.
Exactly. It was about sitting together, talking, laughing, sharing stories.
And hearing the same family stories for the 100th time.
Why does every family do that?
I have no idea.
My dad could tell the same story 20 times and still laugh at his own jokes.
That's actually kind of adorable.
Don't tell him I said that.
Your secret is safe with me.
Good.
Did you have your own room growing up?
Nope. I shared a room with a sibling.
Oh, wow. How was that?
Let's just say it taught me patience.
I can imagine.
You learn very quickly that personal space is sometimes just a dream.
That's so true.
But looking back, it was actually fun.
I think that's the funny thing about childhood. The things that annoyed us back then often become our favorite memories later.
That's a great point, Mizu.
My family loved spending time together. Not because everything was perfect, just because we genuinely enjoyed being around each other.
I love that.
And honestly, we didn't have much money, but we were happy.
I think a lot of people will connect with that sentence.
Yeah, we didn't have the newest things, we didn't take expensive vacations, but I never felt like I was missing something.
Exactly. Sometimes happiness has very little to do with money.
That's something my parents taught me.
Speaking of parents, my parents taught me important life lessons.
Like what?
Work hard, be honest, treat people with kindness, the simple stuff.
The simple stuff is usually the important stuff.
That's true. Funny how you don't fully understand those lessons until you're older.
Oh, wow. That's so true.
As a kid, you hear the advice. As an adult, you finally understand it.
Exactly.
You know, when I think about my childhood, one feeling always comes back.
What's that?
Home was always a safe place for me.
Oh, love that.
No matter what happened outside, good day, bad day, stress, problems, home felt safe.
I know exactly what you mean. There's something comforting about knowing people are waiting for you.
Absolutely.
And honestly, some of my best memories are with my family.
Mine too. Not the big events, not the expensive moments.
Just ordinary days.
Ordinary days that somehow became unforgettable.
Beautifully said, Lucas. Before we move on, let's look at some useful expressions we naturally use during our conversation.
To talk about family relationships, I grew up in a close-knit family. You can also say, I grew up in a loving family. I grew up in a large family. I grew up in a supportive family.
To talk about time spent with relatives, I spent a lot of time with. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. I spent a lot of time with my cousins. I spent a lot of time with my family.
To describe your parents, my parents were very supportive. My parents were very patient. My parents were very encouraging.
For family activities, we often had family dinners together. We often went on family trips. We often watched movies together.
To talk about sharing a room, I shared a room with my sibling. I shared a room with my brother. I shared a room with my cousin.
To describe family life, my family loved spending time together. My family loved traveling together. My family loved celebrating holidays together.
And here's a powerful pattern. We didn't have much, but we didn't have much money, but we were happy. We didn't have much space, but we were comfortable. We didn't have much free time, but we were grateful.
For lessons from parents, my parents taught me important life lessons. My parents taught me responsibility. My parents taught me kindness.
And two beautiful sentences to reflect on childhood. Home was always a safe place for me. Some of my best memories are with my family.
Lucas, can I confess something?
Uh-oh. That opening never leads anywhere good.
Do you remember your first day of school?
Oh, wow. We're going way back.
I know, but seriously, do you remember it?
Bits and pieces. I remember a new backpack, new shoes, and a level of panic that felt completely unreasonable.
Actually, same. I was nervous on my first day of school.
See? That's what people never tell children. Everybody else is nervous too.
Exactly. As a kid, you walk into a room full of strangers and somehow you're expected to act normal.
Meanwhile, you're thinking, who are these people and why am I here?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I remember holding on to my mom's hand like my life depended on it.
Aw, that's actually adorable.
Please don't use the word adorable.
Too late. It's official now.
Fantastic.
How did you feel about school after that?
Honestly, I enjoyed going to school. Not every single day, obviously, but overall I liked it.
Really?
Yeah, mostly because of my friends and because school felt like an adventure when you're a kid.
That's true. Every year felt different. New classroom, new teacher, new experiences.
Exactly. What about you, Mizu?
I enjoyed going to school too, although school was challenging sometimes.
Oh, definitely. Anyone who says school was easy is either a genius or has forgotten everything.
Probably true.
There were subjects I loved and subjects that felt determined to ruin my afternoon.
Okay, now I have to ask, what was your favorite subject?
English. Without a doubt. My favorite subject was English.
Really?
Yep. I liked stories, I liked writing, and I liked hearing different ideas.
That makes sense.
What about you?
I loved reading books.
Oh, I can see that.
Seriously, if you gave me a book, I could disappear for hours.
Were you one of those kids reading under the blankets with a flashlight?
Maybe.
Mizu?
Okay, yes.
I knew it.
I just loved getting lost in different worlds.
That's one of the best things about reading.
Absolutely. And honestly, I enjoyed learning new things.
Same. Even now, I think curious people never really stop learning.
That's true. The subjects change, but the curiosity stays.
Wow, that sounded wiser than I expected.
Thank you. I've been saving that one.
Apparently.
Did you have a big group of friends in school?
Not really. I had a few close friends.
Honestly, same.
And looking back, I think that was enough.
Definitely. I'd rather have a few really good friends than 100 people who barely know me.
Exactly. And some of those friendships lasted for years.
That's one of my favorite things about school, the friendships.
You know what's funny?
What?
I don't remember every class. I don't remember every lesson, but I remember my friends.
Wow, that's actually so true.
Those are the memories that stick.
Speaking of memories, did you ever forget your homework?
Oh, absolutely. Many times. Far more times than I'd like to admit.
I knew it.
And every single time I would walk into class thinking, maybe the teacher won't notice.
And did they notice?
Every single time.
Teachers have a special superpower.
They really do.
I once pretended I knew what was happening.
Oh, no.
You know when everyone understands the assignment except you?
That's a terrifying feeling.
Exactly. I was just sitting there hoping nobody would ask me a question.
Honestly, that's a universal school experience.
I think so too.
Did you join any clubs or activities?
Yeah, I participated in school activities whenever I could.
Like what?
School events, art projects, a few competitions, nothing too crazy.
That's awesome. I played sports for a while.
Were you good?
Let's move on.
That's a no.
A very strong no.
Fair enough.
You know, Mizu, when I think about school, one thing stands out.
What's that?
The teachers who genuinely cared.
Oh, wow, yes, absolutely.
My teachers encouraged me to do my best, and at the time, I probably didn't appreciate that enough.
Same. Some teachers have no idea how much influence they have.
That's true. One kind word can stay with a student for years.
Or even decades.
Exactly.
And honestly, I learned many valuable lessons at school.
Not just academic lessons.
Right. How to work with people, how to solve problems, how to handle mistakes.
How to show up even when you don't feel confident.
That's a big one.
School wasn't perfect,
Definitely not.
but it taught us a lot more than we realized at the time.
I couldn't agree more. Before we continue, let's look at some of the expressions we naturally use during our conversation.
To talk about your overall experience, I enjoyed going to school. You can also say, I enjoyed going to college, I enjoyed going to class, I enjoyed spending time at school.
To talk about difficulties was challenging sometimes. School was challenging sometimes. Life was challenging sometimes. Learning English was challenging sometimes.
To talk about subjects, my favorite subject was English, my favorite subject was history, my favorite subject was science.
To talk about hobbies and interests, I loved reading books. You can change the activity. I loved reading books. I loved drawing. I loved playing sports. I loved listening to music.
A very useful pattern is I enjoyed learning. I enjoyed learning new things. I enjoyed learning languages. I enjoyed learning about history.
To talk about friendships, I had a few close friends. You can also say, I had many friends. I had one best friend. I had a small group of friends.
To talk about feelings in the past, I was nervous on my first day of... I was nervous on my first day of school. I was nervous on my first day at work. I was nervous on my first day of college.
To talk about activities, I participated in school activities. I participated in sports competitions. I participated in volunteer projects.
To talk about support from teachers, my teachers encouraged me to do my best. My teachers encouraged me to speak up. My teachers encouraged me to keep learning.
And finally, I learned many valuable lessons at school. I learned many valuable lessons from my parents. I learned many valuable lessons through experience.
Now, we'd love to hear from you. What was your favorite subject in school?
And was there a teacher you'll never forget?
Tell us in the comments.
And let's continue our childhood journey in the next part.
Mizu, can I sound like an old man for a minute?
Only a minute?
Wow. Starting strong today.
I'm just saying. Go ahead.
I was thinking about how different childhood looks now compared to when we were kids.
Oh, wow. That's true.
When we were young, entertainment usually meant going outside.
Exactly. Now, entertainment often means finding a charger.
That's painfully accurate.
Seriously, though, childhood was so different.
It really was. Humanity basically handed children tiny glowing rectangles and called it progress.
That's one way to describe smartphones.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
I just remember spending so much time outdoors.
Me too. Honestly, I loved playing outside with my friends.
Same. The moment homework was finished, I disappeared.
Exactly. You'd run outside and suddenly 6 hours would pass.
And nobody knew where the time went.
Or where we went.
Also true.
Do you remember riding bikes?
Oh, absolutely. We spent hours riding our bikes.
Hours!
No destination, no plan, just riding around for fun.
Looking back, that's kind of amazing.
It is. Today, if somebody rides around for 3 hours with no purpose, people get concerned.
Fair point.
As kids, though, it was completely normal.
Did you ever play hide and seek?
Of course. I enjoyed playing hide and seek, although I wasn't very good at it.
Really?
Apparently, hiding behind a tree while half your body is visible isn't a winning strategy.
No, Lucas, it is not.
I figured that out eventually.
You know what I miss?
What?
How easy it was to spend time with friends.
Oh, wow, yes. Nobody needed to schedule anything.
Exactly. My friends and I were always together.
That's such a great sentence.
We'd finish school and immediately find each other.
No texting, no group chats, no calendar invitations.
You just showed up.
And somehow it worked.
It really did.
Do you remember making up games?
All the time. We created our own games constantly.
Same, and the rules changed every 5 minutes.
Depending on who was winning.
Especially depending on who was winning.
That's so true.
Kids are surprisingly creative when they're bored.
I think boredom was actually good for us.
Interesting. Why?
Because when you don't have endless entertainment, you invent your own.
That's a great point.
We built things, we imagined things, we created stories.
Meanwhile, now we get bored for 7 seconds and immediately reach for a phone.
You're not wrong.
What about after school? Were you a cartoon kid?
Oh, absolutely. I loved watching cartoons after school.
Same. That was the highlight of the day.
You'd rush home as fast as possible.
Because missing your favorite show was a genuine tragedy.
A real childhood emergency.
Exactly.
And there was no replay button, no streaming, no watch later.
If you missed it, you missed it.
A brutal system. It really was.
Besides cartoons, what hobbies did you have?
Reading. Definitely reading. Reading was one of my favorite hobbies.
I knew you were going to say that.
Was it that obvious?
Mizu, you literally carried books everywhere.
Fair enough.
I think reading is one of those hobbies that never really leaves you.
I agree. A good book can still make an entire afternoon disappear.
That's true.
What about you?
Music. A lot of music. I spend a lot of time listening to music.
What kind?
Honestly, everything. My playlists were complete chaos.
Some things never change.
That's fair. Music was a huge part of my life. Still is.
You know what's funny?
What?
Back then, weekends felt magical.
Oh, wow, that's exactly the word. Magical.
Weekends were always exciting.
Friday afternoon felt like freedom.
And Saturday morning felt full of possibilities.
You'd wake up with absolutely no plan.
And somehow have the best day ever.
Exactly.
Do you think kids today feel the same way?
Honestly, probably. The details are different, but the feeling is probably the same.
That's a nice thought.
Yeah. Every generation has its own version of childhood.
True. But when I think about all those afternoons outside, the bikes, the games, the friends,
The cartoons, the music, the weekends.
those were some of the happiest days of my life.
Mine too, Mizu. Not because everything was perfect, but because life felt simple.
And somehow the smallest moments felt enormous.
Beautifully said. Before we move on, let's look at some of the expressions we naturally used during our conversation.
To talk about activities with friends, I loved playing outside with my friends. You can also say, I loved playing soccer with my friends. I loved traveling with my friends. I loved hanging out with my friends.
To talk about spending time doing something, we spent hours. We spent hours riding our bikes. We spent hours talking. We spent hours playing games. We spent hours exploring.
To talk about games you enjoyed, I enjoyed playing hide and seek. I enjoyed playing basketball. I enjoyed playing board games.
To describe friendships, my friends and I were always together. You can also say, my cousins and I were always together. My brother and I were always together.
A great pattern for creativity. We created our own games. We created our own stories. We created our own adventures.
To talk about entertainment, I loved watching cartoons after school. I loved watching movies. I loved watching sports.
To talk about hobbies was one of my favorite hobbies. Reading was one of my favorite hobbies. Drawing was one of my favorite hobbies. Photography was one of my favorite hobbies.
To talk about music or media habits, I spent a lot of time listening to music. I spent a lot of time reading. I spent a lot of time practicing guitar.
To talk about weekends, weekends were always exciting. Weekends were always fun. Weekends were always busy.
And finally, a beautiful sentence for reflecting on the past. Those were some of the happiest days of my life. You can also say, those were some of the best years of my life. Those were some of my favorite memories. Those were unforgettable times.
You know, Lucas, we've talked about family, friends, school, and all those childhood memories.
Yeah, it's been quite a trip down memory lane.
It has. And honestly, it's making me realize how much childhood shapes us.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes more than we realize.
When I look back, my childhood taught me to appreciate simple things.
That's a good one. I think a lot of people spend years chasing bigger and bigger things, then eventually discover that happiness was hiding in the simple stuff all along.
Exactly. Good friends, a peaceful afternoon, time with family.
Those things matter more than we often think.
One thing I definitely learned was the importance of friendship.
Same. As a kid, friendship feels fun. As an adult, you realize how valuable it really is.
That's so true.
And honestly, I also learned to be independent.
Really?
Yeah, not all at once, little by little. Solving problems, making decisions, learning from mistakes.
Speaking of mistakes, I made mistakes and learned from them. A lot of mistakes.
Same. Probably more than I'd like to admit.
The good news is that mistakes are great teachers.
Unfortunately, they're also very enthusiastic teachers.
That's true.
You know, Mizu, I think my childhood experiences shaped my personality in ways I didn't understand until much later.
I agree. Some experiences stay with you forever. The good ones, and sometimes the difficult ones too.
Definitely. But I also think I became stronger through challenges.
That's a really important lesson.
Nobody enjoys challenges while they're happening.
Absolutely not.
But years later, you realize they helped you grow.
Wow, that's so true.
If you could talk to your younger self for 1 minute, what would you say?
I'd probably say, relax. You're doing better than you think.
That's a good one.
What about you?
I'd tell myself to worry less and maybe do my homework occasionally.
A very wise message.
Thank you. I try.
You know, despite all the ups and downs, looking back, I feel grateful for my childhood.
Me too. Not because everything was perfect, but because every experience taught me something.
Exactly. And childhood memories will always stay with me.
Same. Certain moments never really leave.
Do you ever miss being a kid?
Sometimes. I miss some things about being a kid. Less responsibility, more free time, faster recovery after falling down.
That's a big one.
A very big one.
But I don't think I'd want to go back.
Neither would I. It's nice to appreciate the past without living in it.
Beautifully said.
And when everything is said and done, my childhood helped make me who I am today.
Mine too. And honestly, I wouldn't trade those memories for anything.
Before we continue, let's quickly review some useful patterns from today's conversation.
My childhood taught me to... My childhood taught me to appreciate simple things. My childhood taught me to be patient. My childhood taught me to work hard.
I learned the importance of friendship. I learned the importance of family. I learned the importance of kindness.
I learned to be independent. I learned to be responsible. I learned to be confident.
A great reflection pattern. I made mistakes and learned from them. You can also say, I faced challenges and learned from it. I failed and learned from it.
To talk about personal growth, I became stronger through challenges. I became stronger through experience. I became stronger through difficult times.
And 3 beautiful reflection sentences. Looking back, I feel grateful for my childhood. Childhood memories will always stay with me. My childhood helped make me who I am today.
Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's one lesson your childhood taught you?
Tell us in the comments.
You know, Lucas, today's conversation reminded me of something.
What's that, Mizu?
The memories we talked about weren't really about places or things. They were about people, family, friends, the little moments we often forget until someone asks us about them.
That's so true. And I think that's why childhood is such a meaningful topic. When you talk about your childhood, you're not just practicing English, you're sharing a part of your life.
Exactly. So don't worry about speaking perfectly. Just tell your story. Talk about your family, your school days, your favorite memories, the things that made you laugh.
Because nobody has a childhood exactly like yours, and that's what makes your story special.
Before we go, we'd love to hear from you. What's one childhood memory you'll never forget?
Share it in the comments. We always enjoy reading your stories.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Keep learning, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep enjoying the journey.
See you in the next Go English lesson.